All right, everybody, welcome to Kilgallon's Pub. This is the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallon, like to sit back, have some drinks with people, and recreate that bar conversation you all know and love. Follow the podcast on Twitter at Kilgallon's Pub, on Instagram at Kilgallon's Pub, and I'm at Joe Kilgallon on all the platforms. We are on the POC, People of Comedy Podcast Network. Thanks, everyone who's been listening. Really appreciate it. Got a really fun bonus one for you. Dear friend of mine, who I haven't seen in a while, and I'm so happy to see him. One of those faces that just lights up a room. Oh, you
Joey.
do. You make me excited. When I see you, I get, because I've never seen you, like, I know you get in bad
You said
moods.
you just got boners in traffic.
Yeah.
And that is now, it feels like we're poking holes in that.
Sometimes I do, man.
Okay, all right.
You always keep me on my toes, too. You've been on past podcasts I've done where we've talked about sports, and now we get to talk about everything.
Good.
Which is what we've always used to, because you and I remember going to the Rustic Inn.
Yeah.
Some great conversation over a big thing of fries.
Yeah.
Hey, good fries there.
Good grilled cheese, too.
You would order the
Cheap
fries,
beer.
I'd eat half of them.
Yep. No, that's the Rustic, baby.
It's the Rustic. I'm excited to have you on. Here, tell me how stupid I am. Today.
I don't think you've said who I am yet.
Oh, I've not. I told you guys I was excited for this podcast.
I'm down for it to be like a mystery guest.
I'm such a moron.
Way to keep him on his toes.
I forgot. I was so pumped to see you. I wanted to just get into it, you know?
This really is like being at a bar.
Right?
Yeah, there's no like weird
no
introductions.
Why
It's
would
just
I?
like get in.
Let's get
Be
in.
human.
Oh, shit. And you're not even drinking right now. And
I'm having water.
I'm 2 sips into very watered down beer right now.
Yeah.
Classic
See, what
lager,
you're drinking is
old-style
pretty
beer.
close to water.
It's close to it, but I like it. There's something about it. Just it feels like America, damn it, in my hand.
I get
a
it.
Good beer like this.
I get it, man. I'm from where the beers came from.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Milwaukee boy over here. So this is Gareth Reynolds, everybody.
Hello.
On the podcast. Gareth.
Mystery's over.
Gareth, as a lot of you know, is the co-host of a couple great podcasts. One is called The Dollop, and the other is called Point vs. Point.
Yep.
That he does with Dave Anthony and Evan Mann.
Yep.
Both great names on those two.
Yeah.
Is Dave Anthony a stage name or is his real name Dave Anthony?
His stage name is Dave Arachi, and his real name is Dave Anthony.
Okay, that works out pretty good. Because I've discovered this lately, that there's a lot of comics who have two first names
right?
and they're bullshit. There's a comic named Drew
it's-
Michael. Michael's not his last name.
Yeah, I get what. And what is his last name? His last name's like Wojciechowski.
It's Zerman.
Zerman?
Yeah, he wanted to back off from the Jewish nature in case people couldn't tell by looking at his face.
God, well, it's a good era.
We used to work together. We're friendly, so I could say this about him. It's fine.
Okay, sure.
It's fine, everybody.
You're friends with a Jew.
Yeah, I got a couple.
You're open.
You got to have a couple in your pocket.
That's cool. No, I surround myself with them.
And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no. My cat's a Jew. Yeah.
Your cat, Jose, is Jewish?
He's a Jew, yeah.
That's a well-rounded.
A Mexican Jewish cat.
Is Jose Cohen full name?
He actually goes by Michael. Jose Michael. But it used to be, yeah.
Cohenstein? There you go. Very good. So, Gareth, I got shampoo in my eyes earlier today.
You got what?
Shampoo in my eyes.
Dude, I thought you said poo in your eyes. And then I was like, he really saved a banger for the podcast.
Because we had a good
we were talking
45-minute car ride over here.
4 hours of traffic.
Yeah.
And you didn't mention he would
poo in your eyes.
I had to
save it.
So what does that mean? Why don't you use your baby's shampoo? You're a daddy.
I should, but like I have to use dandruff shampoo because I have some dandruff. It's
okay. Safe place. You're friends with Jews. You have dandruff. This is a safe place.
I'm a flawed person.
You're human is what you are, Killy. And that's a new name for you.
Killy?
Killy.
I think I had friends call me Kilgy.
Kilgy's awful.
Is that a bad one?
Kilgy's not good.
My one friend called me Joke Ilgallon. It's really stupid one.
Yeah.
I don't like that one at all.
Were these
Special
the Jews
K?
saying this? Special K.
I don't want to say. Special K was
like
good.
That, it's certainly a C character on Breaking Bad.
It would,
Has to
right?
be.
Yeah. I think I would have been a good one of those.
Okay.
I got the... People think, as I got broad shoulders, that it would look good shirtless. It's bad.
No.
I've got an in-cave chest, so I feel like I would play a good meth head just
Do you want to take your shirt off? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't.
Do you have dad bod?
I got a
hot
little,
right now.
It's not.
Oh, Joe.
That was like 5 years ago, man.
It's so hot right now. What's hot now?
That's James Webb.
Is it
our
back to
producer.
good bod?
Hey, yeah, I think it's back to regular bod.
It had a good run, though.
Yeah.
It should be. Well, how are you doing underneath the shirt? You pretty good?
Yeah. I don't have kids, so I can go do stuff.
Do you work out every day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you get shampoo in your eyes?
Because
it happens too often. It's embarrassing how often it happens.
Well, what are
to
you
me.
doing?
I just feel like I need to be like a little kid where I dip my head all the way back so it goes the other way. I don't know.
What else are you?
It's maybe once every 10 days.
How much shampoo are you using?
I'm trying to really scrub
You're a
it
father. Get it together.
I do a lot of things right as a father. I'm a good dad, dude.
But
I don't brag about a lot of shit, but I'm kicking ass in the dad game. Get this. I bought puzzles for him.
Whoa.
We're working on
How are
puzzles.
you shampooing?
I put it in the hair, right?
Sure.
And then I scrub it all around.
Great.
and then I dip back, but I think I don't realize that I'm sudsing it forward.
How are
And
you
then it comes
sudsing
down.
forward with a dip back?
I think I dip back. I go back too far. Like
Well,
you,
but
like
what if-
JFK back
can't you
into the
just
left
close-
when that happened to him.
can't
You notice his
just-
hair kind of
That should be a
flips.
shampoo, back into the left
Back into the
instead
left.
of head and shoulders. But can't you just put your head under the fucking thing and just have it wash down your face?
I don't trust it going on my face. I feel like that's a guarantee to get shampoo in your eyes.
Hey, do you have eyelids? Do they work?
I don't trust
Can
them.
you close them?
They're very thin, these eyelids. Are your
You-
eyelids thick? You have
Look,
thick lids?
I'll tell you, as someone who's shampooed more than he's podcasted, you can shampoo and then you can lean forward into the water and it will just go down your face and it'll figure it out.
I think I got scarred as a kid. When I was a kid, I got shampoo in my eyes aggressively, and ever since then, it's been too long. I gotta take a class.
I don't think we can solve this. You need a psychiatrist for this.
This was too much to start the podcast with.
It's
I
a
should've
lot.
Save this one.
I'd rather it be regular poo now that I'm hearing it.
poo in your eyes. That's how you get pink eye, though, which I'm worried about because I deal with a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a stay-at-home dad during the day. My
Oh.
son just turned 2. He's taking healthy dumps.
No,
And I
life
pick up my
is-
dog shit when I go for walks.
Well, that one is fine, but your life is definitely you're more shit in your life than most people's.
But I can't complain because I'm a straight white man, Gareth.
That's right. No, you're not allowed to have problems.
I'm not allowed to have problems.
Nope.
We'll get into some problems, but I wanted to talk. You wrote for Arrested Development.
I did.
Your staff,
New
your writer.
season comes out March.
What was your title? Were you
15th.
staff writer?
I ended up being a co-executive producer.
Co-executive producer. I wanted you to say because it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Now you were a fan of that show before.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Of course. Who
oh
wasn't?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever think to yourself like when
Oh.
you got that call?
No.
I always want to ask, like, if I ever had professional athletes on here, I'd want to say, how big did your dick grow when you scored that game-winning goal? When you hit that 3-point? Like, that's our equivalent. A writer's equivalent of getting hired on that. Like, someone who got hired for Seinfeld season 6 must have been like, I can't believe this.
Oh, that's a great comparison because it was, I just, of course, never thought I would work on that show or work with those people or anything like that. And then as it kind of played out, it was just crazy. And then what was crazy was when it stopped being crazy. It was just like a job. Like it was, a hard job. It was. But when I walked, when we were starting shooting, because we were writing while we were shooting, when we were doing that, the first time I went and walked on the Penthouse set, I was like, this is just insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a trip. And it's cool because I have a writing partner, and Evan Mann, and he we both were able to be like, I mean, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you should though. I don't like meeting people who are just like, well, yes, I was a fan of it, but I'm professional, and you try to keep it under. No, you should definitely have that moment of, holy fuck, I can't believe we get to do this.
Oh, dude. Well, last night a guy came to my show, and he handed me a card after that said Tobias Funke Analrapist, which is one of the jokes from the show, where he's an analyst and a therapist. And I was like,
rapist.
yeah, and it's right, spelled like that. And so I'm like, the fact that I texted because I'm the guy who came up with that joke, which was like one of the funniest things that had been on television up until then. I texted him last night, and I was like, it is amazing that I am able to text the guy who came up with that joke and just be like, look at what I got, you know.
And then it is surreal. I never heard anyone say then it becomes, oh, this is just my life.
Which
I
is
see
also
Jason Bateman every day.
Which is also so bizarre too. When you are like, you're like, it's just weird. That's weird to be like. I don't think it's weird anymore.
Yeah.
I'm writing this stuff and for these characters and all that shit.
Because that show had such a big cult following, which is why it came back. I watched it. I know this sounds like a hipster bragging, like I was there before it got canceled on Fox. My dad was really into it because my dad retired at 50, so he just became a TV junkie. I think it first came out in 2004, right?
Something like that.
James,
yeah.
you want to check Arrested Development's initial run for me if you could? Thanks, bud.
I think you're dead on.
I think it went 04 to 06, because it did 3 seasons, 50 episodes perhaps.
Yeah.
Because toward the end, they were even making jokes about how now we're only 13 episodes, 18.
03.
03.
Well, one of the best jokes they made from that time was when their order got. I can't remember who I was talking to, who was recounting this, but they had gone from 24 to 18 or something like that, and they'd found out that day. Oh, it was Ben Hoffman. That's who was telling me this, and so he was on set the day that they were shooting this scene where they'd just gotten just that day taken down from 24 to 18, something like that. And so in the script that he got when he was about to shoot that, there was a joke where it was just Well, we've got it. We need to. We're not doing 24 homes anymore. We're doing 18, and they're all just like, yeah, but the order was for 24. Like we need. However many houses it was. It was like the whole thing's constructed to lead to this is going to mess the whole thing up, about the condos and shit.
That's why I just loved it so much because they had like jokes where they kind of poked fun at the industry that they were in.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they had it where they did, I think it was like in the last season before they got canceled in season 3, where they're like, on the next episode, someone is going to get murdered. And then they went real fast through, and one was like some random old lady.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So they killed the racist old lady who
yeah.
called the waiter a colored boy or something like that, which was just like.
No, they were always trying to spike their ratings up. I mean, it was a show that was everybody that I knew loved, and then, just didn't seem like it caught on everywhere else. But it is one of those shows that it's like it's never stopped growing and like finding an audience,
How is Mitch Hurwitz? Is he cool?
He's awesome. Yeah,
gotta imagine.
He is he truly, it sounds, he is a genius. I mean, the guy like genuinely is like has a skill set for writing and for characters and just a I mean, that's why that show kind of felt like it was a gear shift, because Mitch's ability to find comedy and jokes through the characters and just the writing. I mean, it really is kind of
I just wish it would have originally, if that show was originally like on NBC, I think it would have done 8 seasons, 9 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
I think Fox still kind of has proven they don't know how to promote a show that isn't a cartoon. Obviously, Simpsons, Family Guy, but Family Guy they even fucked up and had to be brought back.
Yeah.
Because my dad was into it, and he's like, you got to watch this show. It's hilarious. And he was a big fan of, I'm blanking on the actor's name who plays the father.
Jeffrey Tambor.
Thank you, Jeffrey Tambor, because, watched him in like the Larry Sanders Show back in the day and all that stuff. Yeah. And so I got into it watching, and then when the DVDs came out, I think that's what kind of helped make people think.
For
and
sure.
Netflix was like, well, this is obviously a proven hit, and we could bring it back, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for that. And I was watching the special features on the DVD, and it was when Tobias was doing that. They did an episode where he was like Mrs. Doubtfire, basically, but he didn't realize he was
Mrs. Featherbottom.
Yes,
yeah.
Mrs. Featherbottom. And
it's some of the best shit.
So it's like, it's so good. So he's like, it's in between takes. And he still has like all the makeup on.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, we won this award, blah, blah, blah. Critics #1 show for this. TV Guide's #1 show to watch. They named like 15 awards, all this kind of stuff. And he goes, if you can't market, and he goes, if you're having trouble getting viewers on that, maybe pick up a fucking marketing book. How about that, Fox? Like, he's just talking shit. And everyone on the set just starts cheering for him because he went on this rant. And I agreed with it. I remember watching that going, yes. And then I watched the next season, then it was canceled, and I was like, this is what like everyone feared. They knew they had this genius show on a network that did not know how to promote it.
Yeah.
And then everyone got popular over the DVDs. And look, obviously, I think it was the right way to go, because if it goes the other way, you don't get to work on that great show.
Right. Very true. Very true. No way.
In disguise.
No. Well, that was what was great about it. Was like we met, like, it was a perfect like introduction to Mitch, because it's like I met him working on this other show that he was producing. And then, like, so I saw him, like, 2 times a week for a couple hours. And that was, like, a good, like, into, that was, like, it's almost like when you're doing a set and like, someone maybe is going to book you for something. Like, I knew I was going to be like, all right, you got a little 2-hour window here to be, like, really good at this shit, prove yourself. And then it just kind of worked out,
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but it is, totally is one of those things where, even watching Mitch work, I mean, you really are watching...
Genius at work.
Totally, and
it
not only
cliched,
like on a show that maybe again you are like working on this show that like
Such
when I was a kid,
show.
When I was like a teenager, I would be like, holy shit, or in college, whatever the fuck it was on when I was a kid.
Yeah, that is man, and you also you have like a life that look. I'm very happy with my life. I've done a lot of.
You
cool
talking
shit.
life swap?
I'm not.
You want to do a life swap?
Maybe for a couple
Get
days.
some poo in my eyes. Be Joey.
I think you have a lot of fun, man. My son's really into Toy Story, so I watch Toy Story all day.
No, you're just telling me
toys,
Lion King, but you cut out Mufasa death.
Well, I had to skip that. We watched Beauty and the Beast the other day. I had to skip the scene with the wolves getting a little too crazy with the beast.
Yeah,
sure. I don't want him thinking.
Sure.
Because we have a dog. I don't want wolves, dogs. Same
Also,
thing in his brain.
if you do Snow White, you got to skip the scene where Dopey almost beats Sneezy within an inch of his life. I mean, that scene is graphic.
I'm leaving that scene.
That is a graphic beating.
He's got to know how it's like in the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean?
Thank good for Instigatory. The dwarf was there. Yeah.
I just don't want him seeing anything with dads dying. Mufasa dying is too much for a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm his Mufasa, and he's my Simba. That's how I view it. Is that too much?
It's
a little too cheesy.
It's bold. It's bold.
Dude, I'm a fucking king.
Okay. I mean, it's not getting less bold.
I meant to say... I was trying. It's not. You're right. Well, back to the life swap.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to win the more I talk about Disney movies. I've cried at a few of them. I've really softened the fuck up.
No, that sounds fucking great to me.
No, I needed to soften up, man. You know me as being a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah, no.
Lose his temper here.
Joey
or there.
Fists.
Yeah.
You
Ready
lose
to
your
go.
temper?
What? I've gotten a lot better though, man.
Yeah,
Gotten-
you're calmer.
Gotten a little spiritual.
Yeah.
Not like religiously. More like, let's drink some more water. That kind
Sure.
Of,
No,
that's
you've
my spiritual.
Right, sure.
I'm not going to
drink
church.
some
I'm just. I'm
well, they got
hydrating
water
more.
in church.
They do.
It's Jesus water.
It's Jesus'
Best kind.
sweat.
Comes from his little waterfall he's got going on.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
He's got a good waterfall.
Oh, he's got a
situation.
great cascading waterfall.
Jesus doesn't chase waterfalls.
God
though.
set him up with a great plot. He was
Sticks
like,
to the
just
rivers
stay here until we really need you.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. I remember thinking, God, did you go to church a lot growing up?
No.
You're
I
not
would
from
go to
British
I would
family,
go
right?
to church if I slept over at a kid's house on a Saturday and they were religious. Then maybe I'd go to church the next day and I'd just be like, what's going on? I'd be like, why do you have to do this? That's all I'd think. I'd just be like, it seems like a lot of bullshit.
You were ahead of your time.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I was like, well, it's like you don't learn, like, you know.
It's boring. That's why whenever a politician, remember when Obama was running initially, like in 2008, people were saying his pastor, that Jeremiah something or other,
Jeremiah Wright or something.
Yeah,
like that,
he said some anti-American stuff, and how do you stand by that? I want him so badly to come out and be like, listen, like 99% of Americans, when I go to church, I'm thinking about, kickoff is in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully he wraps this shit up. I'm not really listening. I remember going to church all throughout grade school. If you would have asked me as I'm walking out the door, what did the priest talk about? I'd been like, I have no thought. You could put a gun in my head and I would die.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't paying attention.
And the songs.
In my own brain.
Got to
thinking
pick
about
up
other
this
things.
book and just be like, yes, he was here and he did it on the hill. That's like
Brutal
come
songs.
on.
The standing up and the kneeling.
What kind of ego-y deity is this who needs the constant gathering and singing of songs about him?
I don't
What a
think
lunatic.
he does. I think they want that money. That's
This is like some R. Kelly shit. That's local.
By the way, I'm gonna announce it because I'm not gonna name names.
You're doing a show with R. Kelly.
I'm not.
Oh,
although,
sorry.
depends.
You're opening for
If I
R.
got some of
Kelly.
the- if I got some of the door,
You're
maybe,
going to
'cause
Australia with
he
R.
was-
Kelly and you're doing comedy before his shows.
Guys, I'm really
And you
excited
stand
about
by what he did. You were saying in the car right over here. You don't think he's a bad guy. Bad rap, you said.
it. They all looked over 18.
Thank you.
Fuck off, dude. I can't yes and that one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna flow with that one. But speaking of R. Kelly, though, I mean, what a musician. What a talent. And we all have things that we're not proud of, and I think people should just get over. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna say. You mentioned R. Kelly, though.
No, you did.
Did I mention R. Kelly?
No, I did.
Okay, you brought it up. But I found this out last night. Last night after a show I was doing. I'll tell you who off of air. You've never met him, but you know who it is. A friend of mine brought up, he goes, hey, remember that girl that I used to bang back in the day? And then he described her. He was this girl she was born in Sweden, but she was half Middle Eastern, half Polish. If you want to know what that mix looks like.
Polish.
Looks amazing. Yeah, Middle
Okay.
Polish. Anyway, he goes, dude, she has 400,000 Instagram followers. I go, holy shit. Like, what does she do? He goes, she just posts hot pictures of herself. I go, damn, women are lucky. And he showed me the pictures. I'm going through, holy fuck, man. Like, I'll show you the pictures later. Unbelievable. Gorgeous woman. And then he said, because someone said, she's probably, because she lives in LA now. Someone said, oh, she's probably banging a bunch of famous guys. He goes, actually, I know a few famous guys. And I'm Eskimo Brothers with a couple of really famous people. You know, Eskimo Brothers listeners means you banged someone that someone else banged. Michael Jordan, he's Eskimo Brothers with, because apparently she's banged Michael Jordan.
Wow.
And get this, strap-on R. Kelly. She wore the strap-on and banged R. Kelly.
There's something, I guess.
I don't know if you're really Eskimo Brothers in that situation, but it's still kind of interesting.
There's something nice about R. Kelly getting fucked. I'll say that. That's my silver lining.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
This person isn't a comic, by the way. It's just someone who you might know of.
Now you're worried that people are going to know.
R.
Kelly's getting busted now, though.
Nobody would know this, who I'm talking about, hopefully. Now I'm worried.
I'm chomping at the bit here.
We're not going to edit this. R. Kelly's what? What was the last thing you said? I'm sorry, I missed that.
He's going down. They think they have him.
He's moving.
Did you
out
watch
of
that? Did you watch that series?
I saw a couple of it because it was
Man,
like 3 parts or 4 parts.
I think it's 4 or 5 parts.
Yeah, I saw the
crazy.
first 2, I believe. It was nuts, man.
It's nuts.
He is a horrible person.
Yeah, terrible.
And it's crazy how long it took because Dave Chappelle was doing jokes about him peeing on girls in
actually
like 05,
one of the
04.
things that they talk about that is like where you feel culpability is where it's like, yeah, it was just like a punchline. So I mean, it really was. We just didn't handle it properly.
We didn't. And there's so many things like that I feel like they're going to keep resurfacing.
Yeah.
To me, it's amazing how Mike Tyson's still popular.
That's true. Weird. But the R.
Kelly
Kelly one to me is
like
a serious like. It's a serious
sex slaves,
Yeah, it's
14-year-old
a problem.
girls. That
Really
he
huge.
should be
yeah.
for the rest of his life, and hopefully so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's crazy that we need videos and documentaries for us to be like, well, wait a minute.
And it's not enough. It's like when Hannibal said the thing about Cosby. It's like that was what it's just weird how, I don't know. There's this thing that we lack where it's like sometimes maybe we just need time and reminders.
Time and video. You have
Yeah.
to have video because remember the Ray Rice knocking out his fiance in the elevator?
Oh, yeah.
He got 2-game suspension
No,
initially.
I remember-
The video came out and they're like, well, now we got to kick you out of the league.
It's more good NFL plotting.
It's brutal.
Yeah, but that was the same thing with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
It was like he played the whole. I mean, I think that tape was from before the season this year, and it's like, so he played. I mean, like, and
Yeah,
then
they
you see
knew.
video, and now he's like cut, and everyone's like, man, what an asshole.
And the
It's
Cleveland Browns picked him up.
like, of course, yeah.
He said that she called him the N-word a bunch, and that's why he did it. And so I almost wonder if he was he just Jussie Smollett beforehand?
Well,
Just saying it
the
to help.
backwards Smollett.
Backwards Smollett?
Yeah, yeah. Even then, you can't not kick a woman.
It wasn't even a good kick.
It wasn't. Well, he's not a kicker.
No, well, he's not a kick.
Yeah. No, he's a running back. But the way
Should've
like
just ran
even
her over then.
yeah,
Well, you
but
shouldn't have done anything. But
Right.
At least play to your strengths.
Yeah,
Right?
but I mean, there is something like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. It's a weird time. I don't know why our it's strange because there needs to be like a line in the way we deal with our outrage, but it's not a straight line, and we haven't figured it out yet. So, like when people got very upset about things that John Wayne said, ages ago.
I knew about it. That was first. The internet recycles itself every now and then.
It definitely does.
I remember seeing that like 7 years ago, being
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, he's a piece of shit. He said other worse horrible things.
But then there's most of us who are like, I don't watch John Wayne movies. I don't really give a shit. And I bet if you had me bet, is he a racist asshole or not? I would have been like, I bet he is.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like bigger fish
I
to
always
fry.
found it funny when people are like, he's such a tough guy. I'm like, he wears makeup and plays cowboy. How tough
Yeah.
are you? Come
Yeah.
on. His real name is Marion.
He's an actor.
You know,
He's an actor.
You're talking about a
Your
different
big
name?
tough guy's an actor.
Hey, that's another John Wayne, 2 first names. That's not his real name.
No,
Stage name.
it's not,
His real name
no.
is like Marion something. It's a
Yeah.
real kind of effeminate name.
Oh, that's great. That's
for
where
a
it comes
6'4"
from.
inch guy from Iowa.
That's where it comes from. So
Yeah.
what he
Can you
said.
look up his real name,
what he
James?
said was
Thanks.
was pretty horrible.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, but it is funny that just out of nowhere we're like, fuck him.
Well,
Today we hate John Wayne.
I know it's just
Yeah.
like,
Today we've just gotten pissed
we
about John
have
Wayne.
real shit to be concerned about.
Marion Mitchell Morrison.
Marion
That's
Mitchell
kind of a
Morrison.
dope name, though. The alliteration?
The Morrison's
Eminem.
cool.
You know,
yeah, Eminem.
And M.
Eminem.
Yeah, Triple M. That is.
Yeah,
badass
I'm
shit.
a rain man. I'm Eminem.
I like how your John Wayne sounded like Johnny Cash singing Eminem or something like that. That's what it sounded.
I'm not afraid.
To take a stand. I can't do it.
Everybody.
I remember what I used to do a sports podcast for you listeners who aren't aware called Comedians Talking Sports. I had Gareth on, and I discovered Gareth is really good at doing. I mean, you do some funny shit on the Dollop with voices, but you did a killer Conor McGregor.
Oh, really?
Because remember at the time McGregor had lost to Diaz the first time, which he came back and won, which was nice. And
Oh, look,
and I was
you're a
really
big
mad.
McGregor guy? Of course
I was
you
really
are.
mad, and you were like, you just like him because he's Irish. I'm like, all right, fine. That's
Yeah,
probably why.
Oh, no, it totally. There's something.
He's still a badass, though.
Look at the way you even just said that. You just were like, he's just still a badass, though. You became all like, ooh, girl, he's a badass.
He is. I like him.
Yeah, he does
sassy.
something. He does something to the white male that is just. There's something there.
I don't know. He's got swagger.
It's
He
something.
would talk. He was as a comedian. I liked him because I thought
Let
he was
me
hilarious.
ask you
He's
this.
funny,
let me
man.
walk you through this.
good trash
Let me
talk.
walk you
All
through
right.
this. Okay, so you go to see UFC Conor McGregor fight, and he wins, and he doesn't get too hurt. After the match, or whatever you guys call it, he's done, and he's done his press. He's at a steakhouse, and you run into him. He's very gracious. He invites you over. He asks you, sit at his table. You're Irish. Come. I'll buy you a fucking ribeye, mate. Sit down. I'll buy you one. You sit down, right? You're drinking McGregor whiskey. You're having a good little time, right? Party starts to clear out. You're not going to leave. This is a fucking him, right? They're starting to vacuum the place up. And he kind of moves like a little bit of your hair from behind you. Puts it behind your ear a little bit because you just went and got one of your $5 haircuts down the street. And he moves your hair a little bit. And he looks at you, and you're sort of sitting there, and he just is like, "Yeah, I really like you." And he leans in. What do you do?
I would.
You're not married.
I'm not married.
No, you're not married, no
Jesus.
kids.
You should have. This ring comes right off.
Yeah,
doesn't
right
it?
off.
Not that easily, actually.
He leans in for one. One kiss. And keep in mind, we're in a world now where that even
Why
if
didn't we go to a bar? Why are we at a steakhouse that's cleaning up?
there's a bar there. There's a
bar there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a Morton's. They keep it open for
Morton's,
him, but
right.
this guy spilled some
And
blue cheese and
you
he's
threw the
vacuuming it.
vacuuming image in, and I'm like, why the fuck?
I just
All
wanted to let you know time had passed.
Thank you.
The
That's
staff's
good.
not upset. They're like, oh, we'll sit here all night. Nobody's watching.
Clearly a great
Just two
writer.
guys in the corner. And he moves your hair back. And he just wants to give you a kiss. And there's a world now where this is okay.
No, I would back away.
You back away?
Yeah, I'd back away.
All right.
I'm not. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but no, I'm not. I can't.
Okay.
I really just want to hang out with him because I think
You got to do that.
you'd have to.
And if you want more of that in the future, Connor just needs a little fucking kiss.
just a little kiss,
Little
a little kiss. What do I get out of the kiss?
What do you get out of the kiss, you ungrateful prick? You're at a fucking Morton's that's 24 hours with the greatest white Irish fighter since Far and Away.
Jack Dempsey, Far and Away, since Tom Cruise and Far and Away.
Since Tom Cruise
Joseph,
Far
go
and
get
Away.
go get your lawn, Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph, get your lawn, Joseph. That's the whole movie. Joseph, go get your lawn.
Now I'm a boxer. Now
Yeah.
we've got Lond.
Oh,
Far and
we got
Away.
I'm a fucking
Far and
boxer.
Away synopsis.
Yeah, fuck that movie with Nicole Kidman. Oh man. But I'm thinking to myself, if he says, Joe, a little fucking pucker.
Yeah.
I get to, do I get to walk to the octagon with him? Am I in his corner?
Yeah.
My hype man for the next fight?
The cut guy.
For Khabib too, maybe?
Yeah.
Or when he faces Cowboy Cerrone, most likely next?
You don't want to be at the ringside for any of those.
No.
It's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
A little dramatic.
Do I get some cash? Because you'd have
No.
to pay me off. Otherwise, I tell everyone that Conor McGregor
You know
wants
what?
to kiss
Yours
comedians.
is really no, and he doesn't want to kiss comedians. Joe, you asshole!
I just,
It's
come on,
you.
man. But I'm not into kissing guys.
It's not about that.
Although I would for an
It's
acting
not
role.
Okay,
So what, do I have to pretend this is acting then?
sure. It's you just booked the part of Joe Kilgallon, the guy who's gonna kiss Conor McGregor.
I'd give him a smooch. Just a real quick.
That's
mwah.
all I'm saying.
No lip over lip.
Sure,
Like
a peck.
like your drunk buddy and you give him a
Dude.
kiss on the lips joking around.
That's right. Yeah,
It's like
well,
a mwah,
yeah,
you know?
okay. And there's a little something more to it, but exactly. Great.
I don't know about that. I'm not that into him. What about you with Aaron Rodgers?
If he had the mustache, I'd give him a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you hear about the rumors about Aaron Rodgers? Do you know there's rumors about him that
That he is gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
I don't really know what to believe.
I think it'd be great if he was.
I
'Cause
would not.
I-
It would not bother me.
I think you and I are both under the.
It's weird though because it is like I think again we're you talk about how kind of culture and this all sort of shifts. It's like there was a time in my life where being gay obviously seemed very insane, and then there was a time in my life when the Packers seemed like the manliest thing in the world, and now I'm at the point where if the quarterback of the Packers was gay, I would be fine with it.
That's a great evolution right there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Jesus.
Real classy on the pub.
Jesus Christ.
I would think I want the first, because there's obviously been people who have come out of the closet lately that are professional athletes, but I want one to be a Pro Bowler, one to be an All-Star. There needs to be there needs to be a superstar.
Well, but remember when Michael Sam was even, he was like going to potentially make a squad.
Yeah.
I remember, what the fuck is her name? I can't remember her name on ESPN. She's
Rachel Nichols? I'm trying to think of the only ones I know.
But the reporting was about what he was doing in the shower. It was like he showers with his teammates, and it was like something where you were just like, what? Like we're this unprepared for a gay football player where you're like, he showers like regular. He also urinates standing up, and he's not dying to suck all the guys' dicks.
Does he get shampoo in his eyes?
I'll tell you what, I bet he'd handle it better than some people I know.
I'd imagine he would, actually.
For sure. Michael Sam handles shampoo in his eyes a lot better than you do.
Fine.
Yeah.
Michael Sam wins again.
You in an NFL. Guys, good game, but guys, someone flush my eyes. Guys.
No, I did it myself, and I think my eyelash is
did it
beat into my own fucking eye. So you take the corner of the towel and just
Don't
kind of
keep
do that.
rubbing. You're saying things like we do these things. You
just-
take the
you're
corner
right,
of
it's
the
just me,
towel and
it's
rub
just
your
me.
eye.
Dude, I just found out that you shouldn't use Q-tips.
I'm still sort of struggling with this revelation myself.
Yeah, everyone's like, dude,
Because
get off
there's
the
not an
Q-tips.
alternative. They're not presenting us with anything.
You get water in your ears and swoosh it around, people say. I don't trust that.
That's what.
No.
Who are you talking to?
I
Witch doctors?
saw a witch doctor, actually.
Oh, that guy's good though. He gets it. You should be swooshing.
You swish it around. You get in your
I
hands.
bought a thing, Instagram, and I loathe and despise all the amount we're advertised at. The Instagram advertisements do get me, and one was about like a revolutionary thing where it was kind of like a spiraled thing, and you put it in your ear and you pull it out, and it's just like, whoa, look at this. And so I bought those things. I mean, dude, I wish I was filming my reaction because I was like, does anything happen? Like for 20 minutes, it was like, I guess they just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
You
seen
can use those ear candle things.
Yeah, but it seems like a to-do. What I like about Q-tips, and what I'm sure
You
you
need a
like, is
spotter.
the convenience.
Dude, it's a
You
fucking...
just, it's there.
It's shorter than brushing your teeth.
But I had a thing where I compacted my one ear and I couldn't hear out of it for like 4 months. And as a comedian, you need to hear yourself.
That's a big
it's like
part
your
of
monitors, your inner monitor was off.
Sure.
I just said at the Laugh Factory in Chicago. It was about 4 months ago when I was dealing with this. And about halfway into my set, I think I was doing like 15 minutes maybe. And about halfway in, I just kind of yelling at the audience, calling them shit, and being like, I just kind of got pissed off. And I got off stage, and the other comics were like, what the hell was that about? I'm like, no,
Great
fuck them, they're
set.
tight asses.
Yeah.
And they go, dude, you were killing. And out of nowhere, you started yelling at them. And I go, I was killing?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah. And I go, I couldn't hear him. I
can't-
thought I was bombing.
I can't use Q-tips. That's the thing I can't do.
That's what I said. I go, it's these goddamn Q-tips.
Yeah.
Just made me compact my ears, my wax into the brain.
Now, Q-tips are a sponsor of this show, correct? Because I feel like this is controversial content.
Continental is the brand.
Oh, specifically.
That's the only one I could think of.
That's the only Q-tip that Joe will use. And
we are thinking about getting a bidet sponsor, though.
Yes.
Because we have pumped bidets a little bit.
They're great.
I was about to say the
you're
brand.
both
and then
what,
James
huge
was like,
bidet
don't.
Oh
supporters?
man.
Well,
Have you tried?
I don't think I've tried a bidet.
You would remember if you had.
I don't think I have.
Changed your life, dude.
Look, we know you're
I think I'm like Crocodile Dundee with bidets. I'm like, yeah, Crocodile, that ain't all that show.
but trust me, man. You'll feel like, oh, this is how people in Skull and Bones they wipe their butts like this. This. I'm in the 1% right now.
It
Which
is.
you might be.
It is a one. It is a 1% toilet.
Yeah. 1%er shit right here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a life
But now
changer.
they've got the toilet that the like crazy robot Japanese toilet that will like just fucking song and dance you down there.
It
you know,
it hits your butt.
it's like a cartoon. It must be animated.
I've used one of those.
Have
No,
you
but
really?
then it,
Oh
like,
yeah, it's at my boss's house. It's incredible.
Oh my god.
It has the little guy. It has a little thing it has, and it shoots water up your ass and all that shit. It's great.
It just makes sense.
But
that we
I
should have
pay
some
my
sort of-
friend Gus $5, and he does all that.
See,
So it's like,
that's
I guess over a couple years that is bidet money, but still, this guy,
Yeah, you're just making it
he
installments.
also needs the money, and I give him a $10.99 every year.
You
So
go-
this is like an arrangement.
see. You go mom and pop. We're over here at fucking Walmart.
Yeah,
Because you're a better person than
guys,
us.
clean it up. Come on,
Yeah,
get
man.
your shit
you're
together.
not. I order mine
You're
from
not
Amazon. I'm
mobsters.
bad.
Yeah, come on.
It's fucking hilarious. I did want to mention this since we're talking about classy things. The last episode I listened to of the Dollop, and it really is a fantastic podcast. I'm not just kissing your ass because you're here.
Thank you, Joe. That's the bidet's job.
That's the bidet. Literally, yes. That's why they're fucking wonderful. Conor McGregor probably has a bidet. That's why he walks that way.
Joe, what would you do?
What would I do to be that bidet?
That's what I'm saying.
So on the episode I saw, you guys were talking about George H.W. Bush, which I believe was like late in last year, like a couple months ago, maybe December-ish. I think it came
Yeah, I
out.
think it's after that. Yeah.
Maybe right
Pretty
around
recent.
4 months ago. Who knows? 3 months ago.
No, I'm not saying that yes to that. You know.
Okay. Your wonderful mother was on the podcast.
Yes.
And I gotta say, when I heard her speak, because I've known you for what 6-7 years now,
Yeah.
probably. I know your parents are from England.
Yep.
When I heard her voice, I remember thinking, this isn't really his mother. This is an
So you know
actress
that
friend.
Candace is an actress who plays Pam on the Dollop.
Yes, that's what it is. Because it was the most perfect English woman mother voice I've
Yes.
ever heard.
Now
She
you
Mary
mean-
Poppins. It was fantastic. Your
You
mother's
just
voice
mean
was soothing.
it's just right. Okay, yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying it's a great voice.
Yes. Okay. So for where my family's from in England, the accent is more like, "All right, Joe, you all right, mate? Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah." That's how
What
they
part
speak.
of England?
Stourbridge, which is in the West Midlands, like kind of near Birmingham. So it's a deep
Okay.
sort. Yeah. My mother and and her siblings were all given the choice of swimming lessons. This really tells you about what life was like in England in like whatever the 50s and 60s. They're given the choice of swimming lessons or elocution lessons. Elocution being, a way to sort of class up your British accent, your English accent.
Wow.
So the three siblings chose swimming lessons, and they all still talk like, "Oh yeah, all right," for the most part.
Well,
My
governor.
mother chose elocution, and so now she has very proper, yes, absolutely, something like that. And the funniest part is recently, like in the last 2 or 3 years, one of my uncles was on like a cruise liner. He was like doing a cruise thing or whatever, and they were like, docking or whatever, and he jumps off, and you're allowed to, but he starts to get rough, and he can't swim.
Oh,
So the whole time he's just there like, well, I should have just gotten elocution lessons because he was drowning.
I did not know how to swim after all that time.
I don't know. I guess he forgot.
Maybe he was just fucking off.
Yeah.
He was going to the lesson, and then ditching out. We were talking about religion earlier. I had CCD because I went to a Chicago public grade school, and CCD was basically like a catechism class that like the public school kids would go to if they were Catholic, so we could still make our confirmation and do all the other sacraments along with the Catholic grade school kids.
Sounds really fun and cool.
I was such a troublemaker, and there was a couple times where I just ditched it. I just didn't go.
Yeah.
I did that with day camp once too, because the park was around the block.
Dude, what the fuck? There's separation of church and state, even though it's
no, I didn't go to a Catholic
ignored.
day camp. I went to a city day camp that like, kids went to. They were pretty
okay.
popular.
I thought you were talking about going to like.
No, I would ditch that, and then it reminded me that I ditched other things.
Oh, okay.
I remember
That's
ditching day camp, and my dad caught me. I was like, I thought you were going golfing. Were you here? Like,
he's like, I was at home instead watching Arrested Development, Joe. I'm enjoying my retirement. Go to your fucking camp.
He's into all the best shows. I tell people, I'm like, my dad got me into this show, he got me into that show. And they go,
Yeah.
really? Because shouldn't your dad be watching CBS? I'm like, oh no, he still watches CBS too. Don't get me wrong.
He's the guy. That's
No,
what,
but he
every
watches
time they
it
say
all,
that CBS is
though.
the #1 rated network, I'm like, but I don't know anybody who likes
He
it.
just watches a lot of TV. But
Yeah.
he's got such a weird taste where he'll bring up a show that I've never heard of, and then 6 months later, everyone's like, I can't believe they canceled this show, The Finder, or whatever the hell show.
Right.
It's some show where everyone goes crazy for. Like, he got me in It's Always Sunny. He's like,
Oh,
you have got
wow.
to watch
That's
this
a
show.
good one.
No, he's got me into all these really great
That's a
shows.
good show for a dad to recommend, too.
But then he also liked 2.5 Men. So it's kind of a weird thing where I'm like, you just like anything on TV, I feel like.
Yeah. 2.5 Men.
Because he's
really
got great
bad.
taste in movies, too. But then every now and then he'll be
Well,
like,
you're also at the point now where it's like it is so hard to know what to watch. It's like I think I, at least personally, like have peaked from when I was like, wow, there's so many options. It's great, to the point now where I'm like, I'm a little paralyzed. I don't know which way to turn. I always am like, it could be better. I could find a better thing.
you think too much choice could be a bad thing in that sense?
Yeah.
we get the screeners for the best pictures and stuff coming up.
Yeah.
I've got a stack of them at home. Haven't watched one of them yet. You know why? Because every time we were about to, my wife and I were like, all right, cool, let's watch Vice. Let's watch Bohemian Rhapsody. Let's watch The Favorite. Let's watch one of these. Haven't seen any of them. Have them. It's right on top of the Blu-ray player there. We start to talk about, all right, yeah, I kind of want to see Vice. And she goes, wait, how long is it? I'm like, 2 hours and 15 minutes. She's like,
we've got to
can you find one that's a little bit, all right, let's see.
We have to
They're
fight
all like,
this.
and then eventually we just say, fuck it, let's watch reruns of something we've already seen.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point.
But
man.
Vice
It's
is
sad.
really good, and I'll say I was not planning on watching Bohemian Rhapsody, and then last week when I was flying back, they had it on the plane, and so I was like, yeah, all right, I'll watch it. It's really like I hate those movies with a passion because it's always just like so trite. It's just like you can't tell the story of someone's life that extravagant in a film.
You can't. It's too much.
This is a really good way to do that. They just found a way to like. It's a really good movie.
You know what's crazy to me though? Everyone I know who talks about Bohemian Rhapsody either loved it or hated it.
I really thought I would hate it too, which maybe helps the experience. You know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's why I think I might like it, because everyone's telling me I would hate it. It's kind of like, and I
Dude.
try not to let that stuff influence me.
Yeah.
Because I don't take
It's
movies
also
that seriously.
Oh man, and like I mean, this is how you and I both were after we saw Montage of Heck. Like
Yeah.
you just the amount of Queen you listen to after that movie, you're like, boy, Queen really is good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, how much Nirvana did you? Yeah, we both saw Montage of Heck, that Kurt Cobain documentary, which was his birthday yesterday. I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt,
52.
which I wear anyway, but I actually specifically saw it in my drawer. This was something we were talking about with the life swap earlier. You saw Nirvana live.
I did.
Didn't you see him twice or once?
I saw him twice.
God, I hate you for that.
Once when I didn't really know that what
You
was
had a
going
cool
on.
older brother.
Because I had a cool older brother who was in a death metal band.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then I saw them the In Utero tour. So I saw them before they were huge, and then I saw them like at the peak
And
right
you were
before
so
he
damn
left.
young. You were just like,
Yeah, I was like, I mean, when I saw them I must have been like, 15 or 16.
you maybe a little bit younger, maybe.
Yeah.
Man.
So and then because my brother, one of the places my brother would play in Milwaukee, was a place where they would play, and it was a guy who owned a Mexican cantina. He also owned this club, and so I was allowed to I could go in there sometimes and shit like that. And there was a time when they were in there playing like early.
Kurt Cobain to me, I can't think of someone to me. That's why I want to believe it was a murder. I want to believe he was murdered because I think he's one of the coolest human beings to ever live.
Yeah.
Because he had this I don't give a fuck attitude, but not in like a douchey way, obviously.
He also said stuff that was talk about the outrage age.
Yeah.
You know, he said stuff that was how we kind of think now pretty openly, when it was a little startling to the
Yes.
regular culture.
He was doing stuff where they were doing like LGBT fundraiser shows back when that wasn't cool.
He has a quote where it's just like, if you don't support people of other races, if you do not think women are equal, like shit like this, then fuck off. Don't come to our shows. Don't buy our shit. We don't want you.
It's
as a
on the
fan.
inside jacket of the Incesticide album, which Incesticide came out between Nevermind and In Utero.
The
it was
one.
just B-sides.
Yeah.
It was a mix of there was like a couple new tracks, but it was all like B-sides and weird fuck around
Been
stuff.
a Sun and shit.
Yeah, DGC, David Geffen Company, wanted them to put something out because they were so hot. They're like, give us another thing to throw out there because we want to capitalize on this. He goes, I'll put something out, but I have to be in complete control of the artwork. So he painted the cover.
Right, which is really insane.
Yeah, he was a fucking fantastic artist. Big Salvador Dali influence you could see in a lot of his work, which is cool. And then on the inside jacket of that, it basically was like, all the stuff that now, like he was a woke dude in 1992.
Yeah.
And talking about,
rape. Yeah.
Bikini Kill is going back on tour.
Uh-huh.
And what's her name? Kathleen Hanna, the lead singer.
Uh-huh.
She told a story about how she got like sexually assaulted and no one believed her except Kurt.
Yeah.
And then another time where they found out they're in Seattle or just outside of Seattle, whatever town they were living at the time in Washington, there was a fake abortion clinic that they found out was a fake abortion clinic. It was really like they thought she wanted to go in and get an abortion, and there was just people talking you out of it. It was like one of those setup things.
Right,
they were kind of big at that time throughout America, that these like right-wing Christian groups would set up.
Right.
You'd walk in there being like, could I,
of course, just talk to this priest
Here's
about it
Jesus,
for 4 hours,
right in your
and
face.
then we'll see if you want it. We don't have the equipment. Sit down.
Yeah, basically that type of thing. So then they went to vandalize it at night.
Oh, nice.
And she wrote like fake abortion clinic. And then he wrote, God is gay. Just like, Kurt was such an artist. She tells the story really well. It's on YouTube.
God is gay is like a great way to like that hurts them.
That sticks it to him.
Yeah.
You know? And not just being like a cool person, being ahead of his time in that sense. He also just was fucking raw and honest.
Yeah.
So it always cracks me up when people talk about, look, I think Kanye West is a dickhead in a lot of ways, but when he would talk shit about like, oh, I think this artist sucks, I don't think that's that crazy.
Yeah.
Elvis would talk shit about the Beatles. That's how it always was music.
Yeah.
Kurt would be like, there was one time where he talked about Bon Jovi, and he goes, yeah, I'm sure Bon Jovi's a wonderful guy. His music fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and just like the way he candidly was just like, yeah, I don't get why he's lighting a cigarette. Like, yeah, you know. And him in interviews I thought was great. They'd be like, what does this song mean? He goes, what do you think it means?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
no, and he also just wrote like mysterious lyrics and shit. Like truly, it sounds. I'm sure there are a lot of people who feel this. A lot of people think it's stupid, but it's like, music was like at a rough time in my adolescence where there was something that really struck and spoke to, and no doubt helped me deal with some fucking problems. Like
it
there
did
was
for
something.
me, man, yeah.
There was something there that like, and I don't, I think every generation probably thinks that about that one, but that was like, it's not the Beatles, but that was for some people like, there's like a connection there that was bigger than just the guy making music. It was also somebody who just kind of like spoke to the general kind of like apathetic attitude you felt at that time, where you kind of felt useless. You didn't feel like a human. And there was just something in there that just made you connect to it and feel like it was a little more okay.
Yeah, and he had a sense of humor too. I feel
Funny
like
as shit.
That goes so overlooked.
Dude, when he's
Nirvana.
on Top of the Pops and they make them pretend to play, and the way
Tell
he
people
sings.
what Top of the Pops is real quick.
Top of the Pops
is
an English show where basically they invite like whatever big, kind of like. I can't remember what that show's called, but it's
like
basically
Total Request Live was for us
sort
in the
of,
early 2000s.
but more like they would. It's more like Dick American Bandstand.
There you go.
It's
Good-
a little
good
more
call.
like that, where it's just sort of like there are people kind of milling around and they dance and they watch, and then bands come on and play. And they always had this explicit thing where they just didn't want the musicians to play their instruments. And, much like when you are invited on something like that, you probably protest, but then they go, no, that's how we do it. And you go, okay, fall in line. Everybody does. Singer sings, though. So all the instruments are being fake played. They just have that. And then the singing is real, but they have the backup singing and all that. It's almost like karaoke. And so, they're not even hamming it up too much, but Kurt doesn't play his guitar one time.
Not once.
And so he's just got his guitar around his neck, and he's singing Smells Like Teen Spirit, but instead of singing it with the regular ants, he's just going like, here we are now, entertain
He's singing it like a lounge
us.
act.
Here, yeah. And it's long.
Load up on guns
Yeah.
and bring
Bring
your
it, the
fr-
whole thing, and it's
so
just
funny.
like,
And then Chris Novoselic, you could tell, isn't playing the bass because he starts throwing up in
getting
the air.
crazy, yeah.
And Dave Grohl's pointing one drumstick this way and pointing it the other way. Then because at first they started off, and then I think Kurt started to sing it the weird way.
Yeah.
And then maybe they're like, oh well, fuck, this is great.
Yeah.
And I have a friend. There's he produces shows in Chicago at Under the Gun Theater. They call it the Lincoln Lodge. Anyone in the Chicago area, check those out. This guy Mark Geary, great producer. He's from England, still speaks with that ridiculous accent.
Here we go.
Not as good as your mother's.
Thank you.
And he talked about how everyone was hyping up Nirvana, and they're going to be on Top of the Pops this week. You got to see them. And he had no idea who they were, but all his friends just could not shut up about this band. And he went in there thinking, oh, fuck them. They're probably going to be terrible. I'm not even, blah, blah, blah. Like he wasn't that into American music at the time. And then he saw that performance and knew what they were doing and was like, I'm a fan for life.
Yeah.
This was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he did have that rock star attitude. You know, the Unplugged in New York was obviously one of the greatest, one of those.
Yeah.
I always loved, there's this, I don't know if it was them live at Reading, I think, when they do the song Breed, which is just a great riff thing. And I even read that he wrote the solo so he could run around the stage playing like a maniac. Because the whole thing's like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You could just run around and just fuck it, and it still sounds cool.
Yeah.
Because all the songs are super simple, but they sound cool.
Yeah.
I hate when I meet music snobs like, oh, their songs are easy. I'm like, yeah, all the greatest songs ever are fucking easy.
It's true. And
that's why they're the best.
Yeah.
That's just how that works. I don't care about, I think people get too technical. It gets just boring. It kills the creativity.
Yeah.
So he hits like the last part going before the solo, like, she said, and then he turns and the mic stand with the mic still in it falls to the ground. So he's running around playing the solo and all this stuff. He notices the mic stands on the ground. He drops to his knees and sings into it with like his hair over his face, like with the mic laying on the ground, sings into that.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you had never seen them, that was your first glimpse of Nirvana.
Good improv.
You would be if you'd be like, that's a fucking rock star right there. That dude's a rock star. And Oasis had that too. They did a thing on Top of the Pops where they all switched around.
Yeah.
Where Noel was playing a tambourine and Liam was pretending to play guitar.
After Nirvana, though.
After Nirvana, yeah. That definitely Nirvana did it first. They were cooler.
Yeah.
I am a big Oasis fan, though, and you got to interview Matt Whitecross, I think his name was, who did the documentary.
Sort of, yeah, on Burns' podcast.
That's
He
Steve Burns' podcast,
carried it.
Okay, he's obsessed.
Obsessed.
Steve Byrne, a good mutual friend of
Yes,
ours.
obsessed
With that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a good band, though. Good band.
Yeah. Yeah, they were fun. I mean, when I was in England, like, younger, like, that was, like, it was huge.
It's great, man.
Their fucking music.
So we're talking about all these cool people now. Kurt Cobain, obviously. I have a question I like to ask people. I've been doing this the last few podcasts. I used to do a series of questions before, and one I'll throw your way.
Sure.
Instead of making you pick, I used to have people pick, because some people don't want to answer the question, but I feel like you're pretty cool and might answer it. So the first question before the other one, you're giving me a look like, Joe, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm just curious where this is headed. You're setting up quite a question.
I am setting it up too much, maybe. Gareth Reynolds.
Yeah. How
did you lose your virginity?
Oh,
you can pass. You can pass if you don't want to answer it.
I'll give you the quick version.
Okay.
In England, kids lose their virginity
you
so
lost in
young.
England?
You don't no, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. And so they lose their virginity like very, very early, like shockingly early. And so I remember when I was there, and I was probably 13. Friends of mine would be like, "Mate, you're still a virgin." And I'd be like, "I'm like 13. Like, I'm still not ready for sex, I'm sure." And then there was a girl I'd met who had like a crush on me. And then, so, we'd drink and we'd go like have cans of cider and shit, and at that age. And so I was 15, and this girl had like wanted to like sleep with me. And so I was like ready to do it, So I went to my favorite pub at the time called Pins, Pints, and Platters, where
There's
they would
no
let
drinking
me in.
age there, right?
No, there is. For some reason, this place would just serve me and my cousin.
Cool. What is the drinking age there?
18.
18.
But I mean, it's definitely not like, they're pretty chill. But places would turn you down if you were not 18. I mean, it would happen,
Sure.
But this place would serve me when I was 15, and I looked like I was 12. And so I went to the bathroom, bought a whiskey-flavored condom. And
thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know why. And then my cousin had a party when his parents were out of town, and then I lost my virginity.
Nice.
That
I like
evening.
that.
Yeah.
With a whiskey flavored condom.
With a whiskey flavored condom on, yeah. And I still to this day will not have sex without a whiskey flavored condom.
You're loyal to your brand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I found a winner.
There you go.
I found a winner.
Beautiful. And the other question: if you could drink with anyone, living or dead, they have to be famous. You can't be sentimental and name some, long lost cousin. I don't care.
Sure.
It's
rude.
Sorry, but
That's
I don't.
what I was gonna name.
Who would it be? Who would you drink with? Anyone from history? I know it's kind of a big question, loaded, putting you on the spot a little bit there.
I just watched a documentary on Buster Keaton recently, and not only did he like to drink, he was pretty awesome, and just so revolutionary when it comes to like timing and just slapstick and all this shit, and subtlety. That I'm at a phase right now where Buster Keaton would be who I'd want to sit down and have
What
a
are a
beer
few
with.
of Buster Keaton's big hit movies? I know the name, but I'm not putting it to his work at the moment.
I mean, you probably don't know his movies as much as just clips and shit, like famous clips. But they're, like The General is probably his biggest one they talk about.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah.
picturing it a little bit better. Buster Keaton.
Yeah.
What would you drink with him?
Ooh.
What beverages do you think Buster would be into?
He liked beer, it sounded like, so I'd have beer.
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 Beer guy.
Beer.
Yeah, you're not, but you're a mixed drink guy, aren't you?
Nah, not really. I
No?
like wine, actually.
Really? You got it? Are you in? Is this new revelation?
Nah, it's a couple years old, yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Not great. I wish I hadn't mentioned it.
Yeah, I could tell that about you. Some people can't. I've had a few friends where they get into a red wine phase, but they don't address it. I feel
Yeah.
like when you switch, you can't be a guy who's drinking Miller Lite
it
and
gets
old
addressed
style.
for you.
Yeah, and
It
then
is addressed for you.
That's true. Because I remember my one friend Kenny walked up and he had a glass of red wine, and we're all just looking at him like, "You gonna explain that? What's going on with
No.
that?" Because 2 weeks ago you were like 30 rack of Busch Light, yeah, and now you're just acting like
Now
red
you're like,
wine.
that was a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New year, new me, red
Yeah.
wine. Are you one of those people?
Yeah,
Are you Are you like Paul Giamatti, just smelling wines now?
very much so. In many ways,
don't
I'm like
smell
Paul
them.
Giamatti.
Look, I'm not against wine. I get it. Wine's very popular. I've had a few decent wines here or there.
Sure.
Compliments a meal. I hate the fucking people who hold the glass like this. Like it's a fucking
Beer can.
yeah. Okay, it's like a test tube. You know
I
what
agree.
mean? Where it's
It can become very pretentious very quickly. I do not plan on getting on that level.
Don't do it.
I won't.
Gareth.
I'll stay humble, baby.
Look, man. I will encourage you in all of your endeavors.
Thank you.
If you go down that road, I don't know how I'm going to handle it.
Thank you.
All right, Gareth. Now you got the dollop. You got point versus point with your man Evan Man.
Yep.
I like how I said that.
Yep.
Anything else on the horizon?
Writing on a show called Hoops. I'm always on tour with shit. GarethReynolds.com.
Hoops with Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson, Chicago boy.
I remember, great Cubs fan, Bears fan,
Great
Jake
guy.
Johnson. I've never met him, but I know you love him, and he's fans of my favorite teams.
Yeah,
And
that's
New
the
Girl,
issue
my
with
dad
him.
loved New Girl, got me into New Girl from my dad.
It's a good show.
I was a big fan of New Girl.
Stick around for season 8. You might see a security guard.
Season 7, by the way.
Oh,
it was
whoa.
season 7,
Whoa.
and I remembered the episode because when I was watching with my wife, I'm like, it's fucking Gareth.
Yeah.
This is how we'll end it. This is how funny Gareth is. You're a hilarious guy, man. I'm going to make fun of you on the car ride back because I feel like I've kissed your ass too much.
Thank you.
So I have to bring you back down to earth. I remember my wife posted a thing on Facebook, like, maybe in 2015. We were maybe living in LA for like a year, of my dog hanging out the window. Because remember we'd go on car rides. LA, I miss it's probably 80 degrees there right now. It's fucking shitty here.
Gorgeous.
My dog would always have her like paw hanging out the window, which was great because every now and then we'd be at a red light and there'd be people going like, "This fucking dog's a baller! Look at this dog!" People get all pumped up. But I'm talking about black guys
Sure.
with that accent I just did. And I remember she posted a picture on Facebook saying, "Guess who loves car rides?" And you commented, "Joe." It's Joe, isn't it? I bet it's Joe. And you wrote it out just like that. And to this day, my wife, if I've ever had to bring you up, she thinks of that because how funny. She laughed about that for like a week. She thought it was
I'm a winner.
Hysterical.
I'm a winner.
And when we saw you on that episode, we were like, fucking Gareth. Hell yeah. On season 8 of New Girl. Watch out for him, everybody.
I love you, Joe.
Gareth Reynolds, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Guys, follow him on Twitter at Gareth Reynolds. Instagram, wonderful. Get more pictures of the cat, though. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Everyone, thanks for listening. This has been Kilgallon's Pub. Cheers. Thanks, bud.
I got to take another shit.
Do you? We'll go shit, and then I'll drive you back, man. I'll get you back by 5.
That's why I was rushing at the end.
Oh, I hear you.